We need to talk about the Illuminati. No, not that Illuminati, Marvel's Illuminati. I think Kevin Feige has perfectly set the stage for this secretive team of super-powered beings, and their appearance will likely change the Marvel Cinematic Universe forever. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. And did you know we have a super secret Illuminati Den of Nerds handshake? It's called smashing the like button. That's how you do it. Smash the like button. So I've been really looking forward to doing this video. Marvel's Illuminati is amazing, and some of my favorite Marvel comic stories involve the Illuminati. So let's start by going over the comic book version of Marvel's Illuminati. Then we'll talk about the parallels that we see in those stories to the MCU, and then I'll speculate a bit on how I think Marvel will bring the Illuminati into the MCU. So this group was formed after the Kree and Skrull War, which was super crazy in Marvel Comics. It was very devastating. Tony Stark invites the most powerful and influential Marvel characters for a meeting in Wakanda. The members invited included, of course, Stark himself, Black Panther, Black Bolt, Namor, Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, and Professor X. Now, there was a lot of distrust between all of these different heroes, and originally they were supposed to make some kind of a super team, which was going to have all of their actual teams like the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Avengers, and so on and so forth, all be able to work together if something crazy happened like the Kree-Skrull War again. It didn't go down that well because, again, there was a lot of distrust among all of these different parties, and Black Panther actually wanted nothing to do with it, and instead of formulating this super coalition, they decided to settle on having a secretive group where they would all sort of share the information and resources that they had to influence and have an effect on the different things going on in the world. And from there on out, the Illuminati did a bunch of shady and crazy things. Shortly after formulating the group, they all take a secret trip out to the Skrulls' home planet, and they literally try to roll up on the Skrull Queen and basically tell the Skrulls to back up off of Earth and to never mess with them again. It really doesn't go that great for the Illuminati, and although they do actually escape the clutches of the Skrull Empire, they do leave some of their DNA behind, and some of that DNA that was left behind helps the Skrulls to formulate secret invasion. They famously decided to get rid of the Hulk, and they exile him, blasting him off planet, putting him on the world of Sakaar. There's a gamma bomb that goes off, killing a lot of the people that the Hulk cares about on his new planet. He blames the Illuminati and comes back to Earth, causing massive chaos. Several times the Illuminati has gone out and collected the Infinity Stones. Once, at the behest of Reed Richards, they gathered the Infinity Stones after having the stones almost destroy the universe twice, and the whole idea was that Reed wanted to destroy the stones, except that they couldn't. They couldn't just destroy the stones using all of their power combined.
I used the stones to destroy the stones.
Well, we know you did, movie Thanos, but we're talking about the comic book. So after being unable to destroy the stones, they've divvied the stones up. Literally, different members of the Illuminati held different stones in secret, just keeping them safe if they were ever to be needed. And most recently, leading up to the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, the New Avengers, or Marvel's Illuminati, this time joined reluctantly by T'Challa, was going out and literally destroying parallel Earths as the conversions happen. They were trying to stop the conversions, understand what was going on with the conversions. They were trying to save the multiverse, but in the process, they were actually eliminating other Earths. So there are obviously several things from what I just mentioned with the Illuminati in the comic books that parallel to what's going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Although we've only barely brushed up against the Kree-Skrull War in the events of Captain Marvel, that is a big thing that happened, but also the idea of Thanos coming to Earth, doing the snap, and then coming again in Endgame is pretty crazy, and it parallels to that state the world was in when Tony Stark in the comic books decided the Illuminati should be formed. I talk about this a lot, so you've probably heard me say this before, but right now the world is scared. Things are crazy. People are looking to be protected. They're willing to maybe give up some of their freedom for security. So we're in a similar state to which the Marvel Comics universe was in when Tony first established the Illuminati. You may have also also noticed that a lot of the members from the comic book version of the Illuminati are either in the MCU or rumored to be arriving in the MCU very soon. We of course have Tony Stark, even though he is now deceased. We have Doctor Strange, and we have T'Challa. Namor is heavily rumored to possibly be introduced or teased in Marvel's The Eternals, and then possibly show up as a villain in Black Panther 2. While we don't know much about when Professor X will be brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel now has the Fox X-Men characters, and we're very likely to see the MCU version of the X-Men, including Charles Xavier, in the MCU very soon. And Mr. Fantastic is in a similar boat. I mean, the Fox properties are now over at Marvel Studios. A lot of rumors out there about John Krasinski coming over to play Mr. Fantastic, but either way, we know the Fantastic Four are coming to the MCU. And Black Bolt was technically already a part of the MCU, but is also rumored to be being recast and to have an actually dope version, thank God, in the Miss Marvel show. The royal family, Black Bolt, Medusa, and all of them in their new MCU glory will be established in the Miss Marvel show. And possibly the most obvious connection between the comic book Illuminati and the potential MCU Illuminati all has to do with the Infinity Stones, or as they're called in the comics, the Infinity Gems. Now, currently in the main timeline of the MCU, the stones are gone. They were destroyed by Thanos because apparently in the MCU, you actually can use the stones to destroy the stones.
I use the stones to destroy the stones.
I know, Thanos, I just said that. But there are still other stones in other realities, and we don't know for sure that the stones won't just return or perhaps be sent out to different places within our universe. It's just very unlikely that the stones are gone forever in the main timeline. Perhaps one of the things the Illuminati will do is try to figure that out, or try to either recreate the stones or bring new stones to our timeline, because not having the stones, it's going to cause some problems. But now let's go to good old speculation town, boys and girls. I want to talk to you about how I think they could do the Illuminati in the MCU. First of all, I would still have Tony Stark establish the Illuminati. And I know what you're thinking, like, how's he going to do that? He's totally dead. Well, there are one or two ways that this could still happen. Potentially, we could run into a different version of Tony Stark from another universe, perhaps even in Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. Stephen Strange could find another version of Tony, and maybe in that parallel universe, the Illuminati is already established, and that Tony tells Strange that you got to do that. Even though the Tony's gone in your universe, you got to establish the Illuminati. Another possible way this could go down would be if Tony had sent a message, recorded some kind of a message for Stephen Strange, very similar to the message that he had for his daughter before he passed. It would be interesting if he recorded a message to Stephen talking about how crazy this whole Endgame thing was, and how they must formulate a super team of the most powerful and influential people on the planet to be united so that nothing like this could ever happen again. And frankly, Stephen Strange is the perfect person to be recruiting all of these people together. He has at least some interaction and relationship with T'Challa. This must be the case after they ring everybody in at the final battle of Endgame. He obviously knows a lot of the Avengers, and believe it or not, he spent a ton of time with Stark. It might not seem like he did in the films, but you have to remember, he spent 14 million different outcomes living through them with the Avengers. He spent more time with Tony than probably anybody else in the MCU. Now, the timing gets a little tricky here because I don't know if the group will be formed immediately after Endgame. Like, I don't know if Doctor Strange is just going to immediately realize that this group needs to be formed. It might take some time, and that might work well because these other characters like Namor, like Black Bolt, like Mr. Fantastic and Professor X are yet to be introduced into the MCU. So maybe you can give it a little bit of time before this happens. But what I think is going to happen here is they're going to pull from the Jonathan Hickman run, and essentially something that happened during Endgame, perhaps the stones themselves being gone from our timeline or something like that, is going to cause a great cosmic threat very similar to what was happening with the incursions in the Time Runs Out comic run that led up to Secret Wars. Because again, and I've said this many times, but I'm telling you guys, Secret War in Battleworld is coming. I'm very confident that that is something Marvel Studios is working towards, and so there has to be a catalyst that leads up to that event. Perhaps after the events of Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness, Stephen Strange becomes aware of this great cosmic threat that is going on, and then he recalls the message left to him by Tony Stark, and then he starts recruiting the different members of the Illuminati. And the perfect way to do this would be to have post-credit scenes very similar to what Nick Fury was doing in Phase 1 when he was recruiting for the Avengers Initiative, except this would be Doctor Strange popping up after the new Fantastic Four MCU movie, recruiting Reed to join the Illuminati, popping up after Black Panther 2 to recruit possibly Namor and T'Challa to the MCU Illuminati. After whatever the new X-Men property ends up being, a post-credit scene where Stephen Strange recruits Charles Xavier to join the MCU Illuminati. That is the perfect way to do it. And the beautiful part is this group, once established, could obviously play a big role into setting stuff up for the Secret War Battle World movie, but also even beyond that, they could remain an established unit and create some of the chaos and shenanigans that they do in the comic books. I think that it would just be perfect to have the Illuminati in the MCU as we went forward. And now I want to shout out Carlos C. Drake. Carlos didn't get a nerd card question correct, but he actually did hit us up on Twitter yesterday, which gave me the idea to do our April Fool's video yesterday about Zack Snyder coming in to direct an MCU movie. So shout out to you, Carlos. I apologize for not shouting you out on yesterday's video. But now let's ask another nerd card question for a shout out before we get out of here. And the question is, what member of the X-Men replaces Charles Xavier in the Illuminati after Xavier passes away in Marvel Comics? Answer that question in the comments section below. If you absolutely need more nerdy content in your life, you can click or tap over there to check out more of our videos. You can come on by at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday, on our live streaming channel to hang out and talk nerdy stuff with us. If you want to support us, you can like this video, share this video, or go check out the Patreon and join the list of awesome people you see below here and get yourself some behind-the-scenes content. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.